We are live. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Today's Weather Tonight. Here, as always, I am your meteorologist for the evening, Cloud Hudson, and I'm going to be bringing you all of tonight's top 5 stories. Give me just 1 second. I got to write a reminder. Okay. Let's get into it. Let's just jump in. Starting with our top stories tonight. Dangerous situation in Malibu as the fire that has been dubbed the Franklin Fire spreads throughout the area, threatening homes, property, people in the Malibu area. It's near Pepperdine University. It's near the Malibu Pier. Pretty scary situation there. That's all due to the Santa Ana winds drying everything out. More pictures of Luigi Mangione were released today. He also yelled at reporters. Pretty cool. Pretty hot. He is looking more and more like the killer every day because he does have that cold killer stare. So, he definitely looks like he could murder you, which is probably why I find him attractive. I don't know why. That's just something I like. He did try to get his book club to read Ted Kaczynski's manifesto, which is not a great look for innocence. Unabomber and everything. His lawyer's going to try to protect him, blah, blah, blah. He said that this is an insult to the American people's intelligence. Sahara Desert hit by rare floods, filling dry lakes after 50 years. Stunning photos. These are not a mirage. This is actually happening down there. It's a very pretty picture. People harvesting the rainwater. Shit. Not what I wanted to do. Don't buffer. Okay, whatever. Luigi looking beautiful. Apocalyptic footage captured blood red floodwaters in Malaysia. The floodwaters turned red. Why? Food dye from a flooded chili sauce factory. Okay, that's a lot less scary than it could be. But still, looks really creepy. Looks like the fucking something out of The Shining or something. Speaking of waters not being the right color, outrages. A Maine town is covered with brown snow. This is because the snow that fell today on a small town in Maine came from clouds that were polluted by local paper mill. A malfunction at the century-old paper mill caused an emission of spent black liquor into the atmosphere that in turn caused the falling precipitation to turn to this muted color. And it had a pH level of 10. So while it's being reported as non-toxic, technically, you should not touch it. And it is probably very dangerous, even if it is not toxic technically. That's a pretty drastic example of pollution. You can see it here, the banding and the buildup there. Nasty looking snow. Okay, let's look at our volcanoes. Ooh, 38 volcanoes erupting. I wonder who's been added. Oh, did I go away? No, I'm here. Here we go. Lewitobi, Samiru, Dukono had a new explosion. And you can see the cirrus clouds that form on top that we talked about yesterday. Iwu, Lewitobi. Okay, in Bali, that is our new one. Agung in Bali has now erupted. So that is our news here. See if we've got... yeah, new explosion in Bali, new volcanic eruption in Bali. That's exciting. Let's go to... Did we have any Iceland updates? No. Yesterday we got one. Oh, here's an update from yesterday that we didn't have by the time I went live yesterday. Let's see. Also, interesting thermal imagery of the home reef and the Tonga Islands. Effusive activity continues at the eruption site in Svartsengi, even though it has been steadily decreasing in the recent days, as observed on webcams and reflected in the gradual decline of volcanic tremor. The lava flow remains active within the lava flow field, showing little to no significant advancement. However, most of the fluid lava might travel through the lava tube system and remain hidden from view. It can also emerge somewhere beyond its current boundaries. Recent deformation data indicate that the ground uplift has resumed in Svartsengi. GPS measurements show a consistent upward trend at several stations, corroborated by the latest satellite imagery from ICEYE. So that means that the reservoir that feeds the eruptions is now getting inflow from deep in the earth faster than it is flowing out. So we're turning the tide here. It's still erupting, but the tide is turning. There's a ground deformation LiDAR map. Horizontal displacement. Let's look at our earthquakes now. Didn't have too many today. We had these mid-range 4s around Oceania, and a 5.3 out here on the border between the African plate and the Antarctic plate. A 4.6 over here in the near Crete, I believe, in Greece. We had a 4.8, 4.1, 4.5, and 4.4 going down the coastline of the Pacific coastline of South America. A few, a 1, 2, 3, and 4 around, or no, 1, 2, and 3 around Puerto Rico. We had another 2.3 in the New Madrid seismic zone. We've got a few localized clusters of quakes in California. There's the one near Carson City, Nevada. That's its own stack. There's the one that's this stack right here that's lower magnitude. There's the one in the aftershock region from the 7.0. And there's the geysers. There's also Southern California getting in on the action. Up here in Alaska, we've still got some aftershocks happening in the Adak Island area, the biggest one being a 5.8 at 28 kilometers depth, and some other decent quakes around the coast of Alaska. Not much out of Hawaii, but we did see a 3.7 at 30 kilometers depth. Yeah. Next. Atmosphere. It is raining in the deep south. We've got a cold front sweeping in, and you can see that nice laminar, or like you can see the parallel lines swooping through here and scooping up the air, giving it some nice lift. It moves in like a nice roll, like a rolling pin that squishes out the storms from the air. Rather than it being hot and creating turbulence that way. But this is more like a scooping up motion. We've got a special weather statement down here in the panhandle of Florida for wind gusts, as well as a special marine warning there. There were some discussions about potential flooding in western North Carolina, but I think we're not at risk of reaching flood stage. We're at risk of maybe the damaged areas from Hurricane Helene being more susceptible to mudslides. Got more precipitation moving in through the northeast, so let's see where it changes over to winter weather. Yeah, really when it's in Canada and Michigan and Minnesota is the winter weather. We still got some decent winter weather up here in Montana as well, though. We're expecting more weather to come in. I'm feeling pretty tired today, so let's just keep trucking and go to our Schumann resonances. Whoa, we got another spike starting, another increase in energy coming from the Schumann resonances. The bands are brighter. That is peaking up today right after midnight UTC till about 9 UTC time. Let's look at the solar weather. Maximum X-ray flux of the last 2 hours was an M2. We did get 1, 2, 3. Well, no. I'd say like since the X-class flare, which was about 24 hours ago, we've had 1, 2, and 3 M-class flares. So, this is the one that wasn't an X-class, but it was almost. The X-class was 3 days ago. But this was a high M. It seems to be tapering off, but maybe there is a chance that we will get another X-class flare. Just depends on what it looks like. It looks like our bright region is rotating out of view. Nobody looks really threatening here. So probably not. I mean, we've got a complex sunspot region in the middle, but there's those waveforms again, those triangle shapes that look like crashing waves. Let's see, how many coronal mass ejections do we have today? Ooh, we had 33 to 42. We had 10 coronal mass ejections today. One of them counts as 5 seconds long. Let's see what that looks like. That looked like a decent one. Let's see if the models have predicted any more of that. Yeah, no new flows coming our way. Looks like that X flare got absorbed up into that faster rotating Parker spiral there. Let's see now our planetary weather via astrology. 19 degrees Sun in Sagittarius, 8 degrees Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius. That is trying to Mars retrograde in Leo, which is opposite Venus and Pluto in early Aquarius. Those are trying to Uranus retrograde in Taurus, sextile to Neptune direct in Pisces, and Saturn is also now direct in Pisces, and completing a square with Jupiter retrograde in Gemini and that 19-degree Sun in Sagittarius. So nobody is out there on their own. They're all connected in some major aspect to each other. The moon is currently at 24 degrees of Aries, which is in a sextile to, it's in rough trine to the sun. Means we have a waxing 1/3 waxed moon. It's a first quarter moon between the first quarter moon and the full moon. The full moon will be soon once it gets into Gemini. It is a Mercury day and a Mercury hour. Maybe that's why I'm communicating so effectively. I'm going to pull a little card. Man, I got through this really quick. I'm just not in the zone tonight. Feeling sleepy. Got the card. My happiness is my greatest gift to others. It's got a little dandelion on it and says, selfishly seek joy because your joy gift. You're in. Let's see here. It is raining outside where I am, so the radar is correct. It is rain. Actually happening. The Lovers in reverse. Interesting. Maybe a reversal of partnerships, a breaking of partnerships, a loosening of bonds to people that you thought you had to be in a committed contract with or relationship with. Maybe it's a revoking of your energy from somebody. Let's look up that. Self-love. Okay, I like that. Self-love. Disharmony, imbalance, misalignment of values. Lover's card is pure harmony. Reversed, it can signal a time when you're out of sync with those around you, particularly your loved ones. You may find your relationships are strained. Communication is challenging. That sounds Mercury retrograde. It can also reflect feelings within a relationship are not mutual. One person may be more emotionally involved than the other, and this gap could lead to disappointment and insecurity. Let's see. It may be time to move on from a situation. Let's see. It also speaks to self-love and respect. To what extent do you honor and accept who you are and the value you offer in this world? Be mindful too if you look at other people and wish you were more like them. Understand that if you recognize these traits in others, it is because you have them within you. As Dr. You may face a tough choice with significant consequences. You also could have to put your own higher good above relationships with other people. Yeah, interesting. So I think really the way that this comes out for me with the other card is that your happiness is your greatest gift to others, and the way that you love somebody greatest is by being the best version of yourself you can be and treating yourself the best way possible. Have some self-respect and you'll be happier than just caving into something that you think other people want you to be. Death is the healing is the last card we've pulled. Interesting. Let's see what that says. Death is the healing. A virus is programmed to avoid detection by the host, but here you are. Some would say that life is the virus, while others assert that we can only fathom death because we were once dead. Nonetheless, death is the doorway that transports you from this plane to one another. If the greatest human affliction is our attachment to our stories, then death is the ultimate healer, bringing with it a relief from the pain and burden of them. Do not grasp so tightly to the trappings of this life that you are unable to see the mercy of this cycle you were born to live into. What is lost will again be found. So maybe whatever we're letting go with the lovers is a necessary death. We need to have that part of the story die and be channeled into something new. Great advice there. All right, I'm going to leave it there. I love you guys very much. Have a great evening. Bye.